Hello my fellow gamers, and welcome once again to Better Philosophy videos. Today I'm going to start a new kind of a let's play because this is an early access game. And because it is such a game, I'm going to call this Let's Try Out Industries of Titan. This is not going to be a regular game because it is not going to be a continuous game. Because of the nature of early access, the game is going to keep changing constantly, and because of this, my let's play, my let's try this game is going to constantly change with it. So in each episode you might not see what you saw in the previous episode, the same kind of a city built in this game, but rather what was built in between those two episodes with the new build of the game. So every time the game updates, I will update my city corresponding to that. But I will never go back to the start, I will just build a new city with the new version up to where I was in the previous episode. If that's too confusing for you, I'll try to sum it up real easily. Every time the game updates, I'll do everything I did up to that point in a new save. I think that was much simpler. So let's start playing everything that's available in this build. So this is our ship and we've just landed here. We're going to get our employees from the ship. And now let's take a look at what's the map that we have created using that custom setup. So over here we have some minerals, rich deposits, and some isotopes, some rich deposits as well. Over here some more isotopes, and we do have a lot of ruins with only a few crevices, rocks and lakes surrounding us. So this is excellent. We can definitely expand up here towards these mineral patches and the isotopes, and we can leave these isotopes for later consumption. Now, first thing that we need to enable is everything that the tutorial has taught us up to now, but I have disabled tutorial for this let's play, and the next enemy wave is going to attack us in 64 minutes. So we are going to have to be quick in building up defenses so that we don't get blasted by the rebels. So the first thing that I'm going to do is survey all the ruins that are near my headquarters and see what do they actually hold. If they hold artifacts, I'll be doing the extraction. If they hold resources, I'll be doing the salvage on them. I've told you everything about this in my previous video, which holds 9 tips and tricks for this game. And if you're interested in this game and this is the first time you're seeing it, I have also done a first look video about this game that you can check out in the link up here on the right and in the description below. Now, as these ruins have been thoroughly surveyed, I can check out what do they hold. So these are artifacts, I don't need them at the moment, so I won't waste time on them. More artifacts here, more artifacts here. Let's see here, more artifacts, okay, just minerals here. More artifacts, then over here some minerals, more artifacts, some minerals, isotopes and wastes here, more artifacts here. This one hasn't been surveyed, so we'll go with the one that has no artifacts in it. We'll claim this area and then go for the salvage. Also, we'll need to start building stuff here. So the first thing that I'm going to build is a fuel fabricator, but I want to go for the larger one once I have enough materials for this. But in order to get those materials, I first have to have larger storage. This holds only 10 resources and I want to get some more space for all those resources, so I'm going to build a medium storage. I'm not going to put it here as I originally did, but I'm actually going to put it much closer to the entrance to this building, which is over here, as you can see, so that this way they can bring in these resources and pack them in tight here. Now, as they have cleared out this building, they are going to pick up the minerals. When I say they, I mean my employees, and now I have to choose which other buildings to survey and then which of these buildings to actually claim and then salvage for the resources in them. I won't be doing any extraction until I actually need to get more workers and until I'm actually able to have enough resources for those additional workers. Now here we have 12 minerals, 2 isotopes and 6 waste, so we are going to salvage this one, but since that's waste, we'll need to add a place for that waste to go. We'll do a waste receptacle here. Now, as this is going to take some time, I'm going to speed up the game and search for other buildings that I can just salvage for more resources. Now, I don't have enough influence points to claim this one, so I'm going to try and find something that I can claim that's close by and that doesn't have any artifacts, because like I told you in my previous video, you don't wish to salvage buildings which have artifacts in them, only the buildings which hold resources. For example, a building like this. But I cannot get to it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to claim this plot here, claim this one, and then salvage this building. Now I have 27 minerals, 2 isotopes, so now I can actually build some power production. But before I can build power production, I need to build that fuel fabricator, which I talked about. So I'm going to be placing this one here in the middle and then building around it. I'm also going to build some fuel tanks right here on its edges to fill up this area, and then I'll go to power production. As I will need more and more employees, I will soon get a factory which I will need to build right next to the headquarters for quick access to the resources, and then getting more citizens to turn into employees. But this is something that, like I said, takes a while to do, so it is going to take some time before I can actually do this. This building is a jackpot. Minerals 34, I'm going to claim it and salvage it, and I'll have plenty of minerals. Now from this point forward I can build my factory, and I'm going to build it a little bit away from the actual headquarters in order to be able to grow it later on when adding another factory next to it and then connecting those two buildings together. Now what I can do is place it up here next to the mineral patch so that the workers can get those minerals quickly to this building, and I'm going to turn it on this side here so that I can actually easily get the workers to go from the mineral patch to the factory or from the factory to the headquarters. So I'll be putting this building with its centers turned this way up here. This is about to be salvaged, and I'll have a lot more resources coming in from here. In order to unlock the spaceport, I'll need to get 2 red artifacts, which means I will do an extraction on one of these buildings, and not to waste time, this will be the best building to do extraction on because it holds 4 red artifacts, 2 of which I will have to use to unlock the spaceport. That way I will be able to get some citizens, and then I'll build monetization platforms for them to start earning credits, which I need in order to unlock the console hall, and also to be able to get more credits to unlock new buildings. I will have to, of course, unlock the smokestack to get rid of all of this waste that I'm collecting. Currently I have 26 here in the headquarters. I do have some of it over here in the container. I would actually like this to be in the waste receptacle, so I'm going to build another waste receptacle over here so that they have a place to put that instead of these storage containers where I want my resources. Fuel fabricator has already done good. It's stored all this fuel, and now I should start building energy generators who are going to start using up this fuel. Now, because of my configuration, I'm going to be placing this building over here like this. Then I'm going to need an industrial outlet for this energy to be able to get out of this building, and also I'm going to need a small relay to actually relay this power from the power generator to the industrial outlet. While my employees do all of this, I'll have to take a look at the map and see how the factory is progressing. That's good. I'm getting close to another 20 influence points when I can get a minerals patch or maybe another building. Currently I have yet to extract the artifacts from this building, and the factory has been completed. Inside of it, what I'm going to start building are habitat pods in which I'll be able to place citizens. They do spend energy, so in order to have energy in here, I'll first need to get an industrial outlet inside of this building and also an energy relay that's going to relay the power to that building. So once those two are finished, I'll be able to do a habitat pod. That requires minerals, which I don't have currently, so I'll need to check out, do I have any buildings here that I can claim or salvage. I do have some minerals here left over. The reason why my employees haven't picked up those minerals is because they're busy building buildings, and you can check this in this employee management. You can see that first they do repairs, constructions, and then they move the resources. So as long as they have construction to be done, they will not be taking resources. If you want to change this, if you want to first collect the resources and then do the construction, you have to move up in this queue, move resources option up instead of the construction to be at number 2. I'll put this back now. As you can see here though, the industrial outlet and the relay do not have any power, because in order for the power to get from the headquarters to the factory over here, a building has to be built, which is called the energy pylon. Only once do I build this building, and I'll build it here, and this building connects these two buildings through its wireless energy grid, then the factory will have power coming in from the headquarters. While I'm waiting for that, I am creating power, so I might as well store some of that power, so I can put that power into the batteries that I'll be placing on the edge over here. Now, one thing that you have to make sure is never to block off an area for the workers to get to. This is why my fabricator is in the middle, because the workers currently do not need to service this or take the fuel. So the fuel is just teleported currently, but later on it might not be. So you will see in one of my future Let's Plays that the fuel tanks won't be able to be placed here in the middle, but the batteries will be there because the fuel will have to be moved manually. Now the next enemy attack is in 48 meters. Currently I do not have any defenses because I'm just making sure to have buildings and then have more citizens and then more employees, and then later on I will be able to have more employees, which I will be able to use to get the defensive turrets operational, but in order to get them operational, I first have to buy them with credits, and in order to unlock this, I have to actually be earning some credits. And those credits I can only earn if I can build the monetization stations, but for them to be operated by citizens, I have to get citizens. To get citizens, I have to have habitation pods. So one habitation pod is gonna be here, and in order for the habitation pod to actually get citizens have to be gained from the starport. And because I now have 4 artifacts, I can unlock the starport, and once I have enough place in my factory in that pod, I'll be able to get some citizens from the spaceport into that pod and then into the monetization stations. Now I do have 30 influence. I do not have any minerals left over from anywhere. I can check if any of these buildings are possible to be salvaged. For example, I can claim this building. It has a lot of waste, so this could be a problem, but it holds 25 minerals. The question now is, what's faster? Claiming this mineral patch, putting a worker on it, and getting minerals slowly from it, or maybe claiming this place here and getting the resources from the salvage, because this would create a lot of waste, which would fill up all the containers that I have. I have actually chosen to get this mineral patch, put an employee on it, and get minerals slowly from that. As you can see here, I've just claimed this ship, and now I have 2 citizens. And once I get some more minerals, I'll be able to build that monetization pod and start earning more credits. Now I'll need another 5 minerals for that, so I'll just have to wait for this mineral patch to be slowly manned by one of my employees, and then I'll get these ruins as well, claim them, and then salvage them. But I could check out if there are any other ruins that I can get which do not hold so much waste. Maybe I could survey all of these here and see if any of them hold resources without so much waste. Nope, here we have 3 red artifacts. Now we'll see about these 2 buildings here. Here we go, 8 minerals, 2 isotopes, and 2 waste. I'm going to claim this building, salvage it, and work on getting my smokestack so that I can actually get rid of all this waste. But I first want to get some crates up and running, and for this I think I'm ready to build a monetization station. I'm going to build it here, and you can see that I'm building these on the edge here so that the citizens and employees use this area here for movement instead of the factory floor. If I had turned those entrances and exits from these devices onto the factory floor, I would be just taking up space. This way they'll use this edge to move around and not waste any of the floor on the factory. You only need one area to cover a building for it to get power, as you will see right now. As you saw, it got power. One of the citizens is now using the monetization station, and I'm starting to earn credits. As that's been done, I now can use the starting 100 credits to unlock the smokestack, and I'll just have to wait to get some more minerals to actually build it. When I build the smokestack, I will be able to get rid of that waste, so I can claim this, click salvage, and wait a little bit more to get one more mineral, build the smokestack, and then destroy all that waste. Let's just see where we are going to place this. Because population is sensitive to pollution generated by the smokestack, you need to try and place that smokestack away from your population. So because my population lives in the factory, the smokestack will go as far as possible from that factory, meaning all the way down here. But the thing is, it requires energy, so if I want it to be able to run, I have to build it somewhere where the energy pylon can reach it. Because of this, I have to upgrade the energy pylon to increase its range where it delivers power. When I upgrade it once more to level 2, it will get power to here. If I upgrade it to level 3, it's going to get power up to here, which means that this is going to be the place where I'll be building the smokestack. So I can build the smokestack here, and once this is upgraded to level 2, I'll upgrade it to level 3 and the smokestack will have power. So upgrade finished, you see the power getting to there. Now I'll upgrade it once more for 2 more isotopes, and then the smokestack will be operational. Now the smokestack will only run if I put an employee in, so now that I have an employee, they are going to start collecting the trash. But you can see here that they clean up waste as the last thing, so only if they are totally idle will several of them, you can see 2 of them now, cleaning up waste because they don't have any other jobs. If I were to give them another job, for example, if I said this mineral patch and I want them to collect resources from it, they would be doing that instead of sending the waste over here. So only on the downtime will they collect that waste and transfer it over to the smokestack to be burned. You can track the pollution with this overlay. Interesting enough, good is blue and then OK is green, poor is yellow and dangerous levels are in red. So once the smokestack starts creating red and dangerous pollution, that is the time to turn it off if that pollution is getting to my factory, if that factory holds a habitat pod like mine does. Now with good amount of resources and isotopes, I can build a conversion capsule which is going to create more employees out of citizens. Now I do need to be careful that I can actually supply it with power, and I can if I place it like this, or if I choose to place it like this. I'm going to put it here, and I also need to check out just how much power do I have. I have energy used 6 out of 6, so by building that device I'll go over the limit of the power that I currently have. I do have a battery full of power, so I won't have a problem. So what I'm going to do, now I have to use up this spot here, and I'll use a battery for that. I'll get a battery here, and then once that battery is built, then I'll actually build the energy generator here additionally to provide more power. There we go. And now you'll see the drain because that device had finished, and now I'm at 7 out of 6, which means that I can go into the factory over here and start producing, using my red artifact, an additional employee out of my citizens. Over here I do have this building finished, and now I have to check the fuel. I'm currently using 4 out of 5 fuel, which means that I would be alright to build another fuel tank to fill up on the excess of fuel that I'm creating. So I'll put it here and then return to the city. You can see now dangerous levels of pollution here because I've burned so much waste, and that means that that is something that is going to be a problem if it gets all the way to the factory. So I can just turn off this building if the levels are threatening to get to the factory. Well, I'm now down to 30 minutes before the first enemy attacks, and I have to think about how to get more crates to unlock the defensive turrets and then to be able to defend my buildings against that attack. Thank you all for watching, and please stay tuned for more episodes.